Hello friends, here I am outside of David Eby's office today, Friday, March 28th, I believe I am, and just going to be asking people questions on the street today about what they think about David Eby and the opiate crisis and what he's doing about it.
I live often I'm on Hastings. I drive through the war zone every day.
Every day?
Every day. And I see the destruction that is going on. People bent over. I've never seen anything like it before, so no, not enough is being done at all. And
No, you grew up in Kitsilano, correct?
Yeah.
So
West Side.
what was it like in Kits compared to today?
Well, let's just say everywhere.
Everywhere.
Lower Mainland, busy, culturally diverse, of course, but not always complimentary and thinking about others.
Yeah,
So-
people be like shut down a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Not how it used to be.
It was a bit so back then, but it's different in a different, bigger way now.
And lastly, do you think they're doing enough? Or do you know much about it?
Well, I know Big Pharma.
Yeah.
It's fairly evil. Sorry to say, but yeah, and the people that get paid by them to do their dirty work continue to do so.
Yeah.
So.
Do you know anything about the government here and the SROs downtown?
The SROs are
Single room occupancy,
Right, yeah.
run by community living and societies that house the people that are unfortunate situations.
I have a good friend that actually works within one, and he's had to take a few dead people out, and he lives in a place where they allow them to do what they want to do until they're done doing it, if you want to say that, addiction.
Yeah.
Also, my biggest peeve is methadone and the program's harm reduction, which is...
What do you think about harm reduction? What do you think about giving one drug, so someone that was on oxycodone, a doctor was trying to put them on methadone to get them off oxy? Does that work?
Not usually.
No, because it's just like one drug to another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they give you that, but you're still in the problem, and then you're getting in most cases. You need, if you're going to use it, or Suboxone, I think is a better program.
Suboxone. What about Sublocade? Have you heard of Sublocade?
No, I've never-
So Suboxone is 50% buprenorphine, which is heroin, 50% naloxone.
Okay.
Which you've heard this one before.
Listen.
Alcohol gave me wings to fly.
Yes, sir.
And then it took away the sky.
Yes, it did.
Okay, Suboxone, it gives you wings to fly because your brain is told you're high,
Right.
but naloxone takes away the sky.
Okay.
So you're not high, so your brain's told you're high.
Right.
Then you go through a worse chemical withdrawal.
Yeah.
So Suboxone is actually, in my opinion, quite worse.
Okay.
Then now they're giving another drug called Sublocade, which is an injection underneath the stomach, which is straight buprenorphine, but it breaks down. It's a component that breaks down in your body for 20 days, and then it just sort of gets you pee it out.
How's
It's all
that
gone.
working? That sounds logical.
It's
20
logical when you're putting someone in treatment center and you're helping them out and they want to get sober, but they're high, but
yeah.
they're not really high.
But they have to go through a massive withdrawal, and usually that's a couple weeks of super duper pain, right?
Our future, is it going to get brighter or worse?
Well, in my heart, beats now, I have hope, and I do my best to make and consider others first and foremost,
Yeah.
as much as I can always. And I think a conscious collective globally needs to rise and live for helping others and not just one's own selfish.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hey friends, so I'm here with Bruce today. So you know the question. I'm here. I'm actually just outside of David Eby's office, and we're looking to find out what people are thinking about David Eby and the opiate crisis. And
For someone who I work with the safe injection site on the corner of Broadway and Commercial.
oh wow, fantastic.
And so I offer, I give, it's just a place to.
Are you doing that currently?
I'm doing that currently. So I'm giving safe supplies to people who are using. I also worked on a documentary in 2000 with Nettie Wild.
Okay.
Where we were at that point, the whole movie is about safe injection sites.
Yeah, that's
Coming
when it
into
came.
Vancouver.
That's when it came into
That's when
Vancouver.
it came into Vancouver. So I was working on that documentary. So, so I know I have a little bit of knowledge of it. So what is your...
Are you for safe supply or are you against it?
Absolutely.
You're for it.
I'm for it.
You're
And
so because you have such a different view, why are you for it? Like, give me two reasons why you're for it.
is it gives people a safe place to inject to a safe
To
place,
take care of themselves.
Yeah, to take care of themselves, rather than when we were doing the documentary. There was a place called Vancouver, where
Yep.
it was drug. At that point they called them addicts. Now we call them substance users.
A substance use disorder.
Substance
There's no
use
more
disorder
disease.
or substance users.
There's
Yeah.
no more disease. Did you
no more
also know
disease.
that? There's no more disease. The hospitals and the medical institution actually took that out of the health stuff in 2022.
That's correct. So
This is a question I have for you.
Well, I mean, it's
what
a-
do you think about the healthcare system changing the word from disease to disorder?
To be honest, I'm not. That's something that I'm really new at.
Okay.
Of
May I
course-
give you a different insight or a different way to look at it?
Sure.
Sometimes when people went to go to like a 12-step program, maybe 20 or 30 years ago, they learned that they had a disease of
Yeah.
addiction, and the only way they could get through it was through a spiritual awakening as a result of doing some work and
That's
really internalizing. From my understanding and my professionalism, what stuff I know over across North America, is that they're using the word disorder so that they can now give out medication for alcohol, for heroin, for, I don't have any, stimulants would be, they give out, what do they give out for stimulants? Dexedrine. So they give out Dexedrine for people on meth. They give out Suboxone for people that are on heroin. And they give out not Narcan, it's a Narcolob or something for alcohol. It's the same thing that people used to take 20 years ago that would make them sick.
That's
It's
right.
just not as strong
That's right.
anymore.
So I don't have really a lot of knowledge behind the wording, as we both come from
We both have a background.
where we use the word addicts, we use the word, in the groups, and I think from working in where I'm doing what I'm doing
Yeah.
right now, it takes away the stigma. So using different wording takes away the stigma, takes away, and I understand that, and I absolutely get it. But these safe injection sites are really, really important because, like I was saying before, we're giving them safe utensils. We're giving them safe.
Do they get
a
the
safe-
medication? Do they get heroin there?
I'm sorry.
Do they
No,
get?
cannot.
They don't
We
get
can only
any drugs there.
We supply pipes. We supply.
You supply everything, so they
we-
bring their
we
drugs in
supply
and you
everything.
test it, and then they can do it.
No, we don't test anything. We give them a testing kit, so they can use it. They can test it. But it
Interesting.
gives the
That's
people
really
a
good.
safe place to use it. We're gonna have. It's gonna be around forever.
Forever,
right?
100%.
And I think it's also It's a housing crisis. It's also a mental health issue. So there's many issues that we can.
Just quickly, what do you think of the SROs?
SROs.
Single room occupancy. So the community associations like Arteria are running. They bought, like, for instance, the Hotel California.
yeah.
They put in all the addicts. Well, they were homeless, but really they turned in. If they were homeless, because I do know some that were homeless that went in and then became addicts. What do you think of those? No, you don't know.
Well,
much
because back then, when I was working on the documentary with Nettie,
Yep.
they were the Portland Hotel Society just came in.
Yep.
So the Portland Hotel Society was the first. I think it was one of the first buildings that came in the early, very 2000s or
Yeah,
something.
it did.
I'm not, and I think it's important that at that point they were taking over a lot of these slumlord type of buildings, where they were just disgusting.
It's really
they were
sad.
just absolutely awful. And I don't know that much information about this one.
So last question. What would you think about the Portland Housing Society,
Sorry, which one?
Portland,
Yeah.
so Portland Housing Society, creating a building for alcohol dependence disorder and actually putting a brewery on the main floor so that the people that have alcohol use, what they call disorder, I don't, they can make their own alcohol actually in the building and actually drink on this, like,
Wasn't
out
there
in
a
the
study
patio.
about that years ago on that? There was
one.
a study. There was a study.
Portland has a 9-level building
Yeah.
downtown on Princess, at the bottom of Princess, where you can go and live there,
Yeah.
and you can make your own
That's right.
alcohol and drink it on premises, right? Like right
I
there.
don't know that much about it. I personally don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
I don't agree with that. I mean, what's the point? I mean, I don't. What's your view on it?
I 100% disagree.
Yeah.
Maria, so you live in Kitsilano?
Yes.
Awesome. How long have you lived in Kitsilano?
It's a long.
I've been here for 30. I've been here for 30.
No, since the 50s.
No, 50s. Wow, so you've been around a long time.
Yeah.
So you've seen movements from like the LSD to like the marijuana to like the heroin to the crack to now fentanyl. What do you think that the government's doing enough currently for the people that are victims to addiction?
No.
No, so like the people, you know, they're putting them in hotels downtown, like the Hotel California was bought out, and they have now people in there, and they're really struggling to get out. And the government, you know, when they did their budget recently, they put enough money in, is the same amount of money last year, so they're not opening up any more recovery beds for people.
Yeah.
Interesting question, interesting thing we just talked earlier, and you said something about God, Jesus. Because I told you I'd been sober for 28 years, and you expressed to me about someone you had a conversation with. What was that about? Do you know anyone that, have you been touched by addiction?
Not me personally, but people close to me.
Family and friends.
Have passed.
Have they passed?
No, alcohol.
Of alcoholism, yeah. I've been drinking as it used to be the worst one. Alcohol used to be the worst one. Now it's fentanyl. Here's the next thing, the next sort of question. You know, back in the day, 1934, when Alcoholics Anonymous started, they created, they said it was a disease. It's a spiritual malady, which is really addiction, which is a disease. And just in the last 2 or 3 years, the medical health professionals in North America now have called it, they're changing the name to disorder. So they're making it a mental health problem, and what they're doing is they're giving pills out to people now that drink too much or people that do drugs too much. What do you think about that?
Not good.
Not good. Doesn't work.
No.
Someone needs to hit bottom, yes or no?
And the people that I know, the two of them that they did hit rock bottom, but went from the drugs to the alcohol.
Yeah. Oh, well, they went from drugs to alcohol.
Without help.
Wow.
No help there.
No help.
No intercession, but neither one of them wanted to.
Yeah, but are they sober?
They're dead.
Oh, they're dead.
Well, there you have it, friends. You talk to people, you get the answers. You talk to strangers on the streets, you get some really good stuff. What an opportunity. 2 of those people I knew really well, and the third person, the elderly lady, you know, she took this off her neck and gave it to me. She said, keep doing what you're doing. You're a beautiful person. She actually lost 2 family members due to addiction. So you don't know who you touch. So communicate, be nice, be respectful, and help people up. Don't push them down.